Hello, this is Daniela Torres from eClay. Welcome to the third Train the Trainers workshop, the third webinar of the Train the Trainers workshop. Alexandra, you connected, please. We need to project the slides. Okay, can you see my slides? Martin, can you confirm if you can see the slides? Yeah, I think we can. Alexandra, can you listen to us? I think yes. Okay. Thank you, Wojciech. Okay, we are going to start. Sorry for this short logistic and technical problem, but now we are here in our third and last instructor-led webinar of the THERMOS Train the Trainer program. Thank you very much to all our partners, to all our trainers to be connected today. We really look forward to convince you and to inspire you to use THERMOS in your day-to-day activities from now on, and now that we are ending our instructor-led webinar series. The agenda for today, so we will try to have a very short webinar today. Our intention is to give you a short overview of a practical case study on the use of THERMOS. So we will introduce the case of the city of Warsaw together with Wojciech Stancik from CAPE, which is the energy agency of Poland. Then we will have a round of questions and answers from you for the content shared with Wojciech. And we are also going to introduce to you a short summary of the THERMOS frequently asked questions. As a result of the different interactions that we have had with you via email and via the chat in the previous two webinars. At the end, Martin Holly and myself, we are going to have a closing presentation of the program status, how is the participation of the different trainers in the different activities of the Train the Trainer program, and also we are going to clarify some doubts regarding the final exercise that you are all called to develop, and that you have, most of you feel the call of interest, specifying what are your needs regarding the use of THERMOS. If you have any question, please don't forget to put your questions in the chat, in the question section. We are here to answer those immediately. So now we're going to start our presentation for today. I would like to first of all introduce our presenter, Wojciech Stancik. Wojciech is a specialist of as I said before, the Polish National Energy Conservation Agency. Wojciech is part of the THERMOS consortium, CAPE. He's a THERMOS specialist and he's a certified trainer. And his main activities in THERMOS is, of course, the design of management of Warsaw case study with THERMOS. He also provides technical support to build the Berlin case study with THERMOS. Also supports in different planning processes and scenarios with the THERMOS tool. And he's a technical advisor of CAPE on sustainable energy, urban infrastructure, and other pollution management project with THERMOS. Wojciech, thank you very much for being here and for sharing us the case of Warsaw. Then also we are going to have Martin, that you know him, Martin, our project coordinator. He will be connected. Tom Hinton sadly cannot come today to answer all the technical questions of the software, but anyway, here we are, the team that will be able to answer as much as questions as possible. If no, we will share with you the frequently asked questions, and we will do it on writing and via email any other question. So just to finalize, you know, this is myself, Daniela. You know me from different communications, and also I would like to introduce Alexandra Fall, that is also connected today. She's been following with you the different deliverables and information about THERMOS. And now that we are finishing our instructor-led webinars, please know that we will all be, Alexandra, myself, Martin, we will be in contact with you in order to finalize with success all the deliverable processes of the THERMOS Train the Trainer program. So now I would like to give the floor to Wojciech from CAPE. So he's going to introduce to us the case study of the city of Warsaw using THERMOS. So please, Wojciech, I'm going to give you the the control of the application so you can present your slides. Thank you very much, Wojciech. Wojciech, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, Daniela, for the kind introduction. As Daniela mentioned, I will present you to the THERMOS use case of Warsaw. So without further ado, this is the city of Warsaw, the map for the district heating network and for the city itself. As you can see, it's a very large district heating network, actually the biggest in the European Union. So it covers around 80% of the needs of heating needs of the inhabitants. So with around 2 million people living in Warsaw, it's a very large demand, and it is covered by 2 heating sources mainly, which are working on the cogeneration-based plants. They use coal, but there are plans to change it in the future. So how do we use it in such an environment, the THERMOS tool? Well, there are a few difficulties that we encountered at the very beginning, because the district heating network in Warsaw is private, so it's not owned by the city. But there's still a possibility to use the THERMOS tool just to assess whether the plans for the development of it are viable, or to propose some options to the district heating network operators and to find the common ground with them. The other difficulty is that there are a lot of in the area there are a lot of other sources or systems that need to be included or could be included. So for the sake of building a new, more sustainable network, it is a good tool to see which solutions are viable and to what extent. The other difficulty that we encounter is that the city is still developing, so there are areas with many new buildings coming on, or there are still areas where this district heating network is not connected. So we try to extend or analyze whether it's possible. So the THERMOS tool is just perfect for that. So which area did we choose to see to use the THERMOS tool? It's the northern, which includes the sewage treatment plant, which has its own CHP plant built in. So it uses sewage to produce heat and electricity. The heat is used for their own purposes, but the electricity is also exported to the network. So our idea was to analyze whether we can use some excess heat as well to be used in the buildings nearby or supplied to the network. This area is also good to analyze because it's just on the edge of the district heating network. So there are some buildings already connected, but there's a lot of buildings that are not connected at this moment. So we wanted to analyze, is it better to build some new district heating network, to extend the district heating network, or to use the current solutions that are there. Other also interesting areas in this particular area is that there are a lot of buildings that are being built at the moment. So we want to know whether those new buildings should be connected to the district heating network or not, and whether you would need to extend the district heating network just for that purpose. So just to give you a few examples of what use case problems did we encounter and how we solve them. So there are 3 typical problems that you might encounter when preparing your own solutions. One concerns the preparation of the GIS file. The other is the modeling of the existing network. So this is the case that we are doing. So modeling the existing network. And the other as a problem, the third problem is the currency in which the thermostat operates. So as you can see, the picture presents the typical view of the thermostat. It's a one building, and when you upload the GIS file, it might be a little bit weird. So it might contain a few parts that are actually connected to one building, but for some reason, when you uploaded the GIS file, it might appear like a few different buildings in one place. So what you can do to eliminate this problem, because of course this is one building, so it should be supplied by one connection, not a few. And when the thermostat estimates the demand, it will estimate the demand for each part of this, which is not perfect. So what you can do is to go back to your GIS file and to replace this combined difficult to analyze structure into just one polygon. You can replace it with just if you don't know how to combine it, you can replace it with another polygon. Or the other solution is just to stay in your tool, try to sum up the demands of each part and apply it to just one of those polygons. And then this one polygon will be let's say theoretical building that covers the whole demand of this area. And you can use it as just to simplify the calculations for the tool and for yourself. One thing what we can do also in Warsaw, and what we are doing, is to compare the GIS file with the OpenStreetMap view, which you can also do if it's available for you. So we can check whether the multi-polygon is the same in the OpenStreetMap and in the GIS that you uploaded, and compare the values of the estimations and so on. The other problem that you might see is that when you want to add a building that is not existing at the moment, but you want to analyze it, whether it's viable to connect it, or whether you could be able to connect it in the future and for what costs. Well, to do this, if you upload the GIS file of the existing buildings, of course, it won't be there, and you won't know, you won't be able to connect it to the network that you are planning to build with THERMOS. So what you can do is to put a shape in the GIS file that represents this kind of buildings, this kind of new structures that you want to include in the future. And once you upload it, you have to remember that it doesn't need to be the exact shape of the building, but you can remember which one was it, and then apply your own parameters or your own estimations of the demand and the capacity that you need to provide to these buildings. It is also very advised to do so if you do the new buildings, because probably the demand for the new building will be much different than the estimations for the existing ones. So you don't have to worry about the shape, you don't have to worry about the estimation that the tool provides, because most probably you would want to do it yourself either way. The third area when you can model how to model the existing network. Well, for Warsaw, to model the whole network that covers the city, it will be very difficult and time consuming. So what we want to do is to make, let's say, a theoretical case for just the end of the network. So what we did is to set the roads and the let's say the connection where then the is to required by the solution, and to apply the costs equal to 0. So when you do this, you will basically say to the tool that there is a pipeline and it costed 0 to make, so it's existing. Then you can use it as let's say the last pipeline that is available in the area. And once you do this, you have to also give a theoretical source of heat, because we didn't model the whole network, just let's say a simplification of it. So we create any building that is connected to this red area that we model as an existing network, apply some basic parameters. So the maximum capacity, probably for us, it was referring to the capacity that was available in the pipeline. So the pipeline had already some limits, and we applied the maximum capacity to the source that was actually the maximum capacity of the pipeline. We didn't assign any costs regarding the investment, because the sources are already existing and they can supply heat to more consumers than at the moment. So we didn't have to apply any fixed costs, but we had to apply a supply cost, because the heat sources always have some cost, and when you produce heat, there's always some supply cost to do it, and maybe to do it better if it's very far away from the exact heating sources. It's good to also consider the losses, because the value of the supply costs in the plant itself is much different than the value that is very far away from the plant. And then when you want to extend the network, you actually try to consider those losses. But if you don't, it also doesn't matter that much in some cases, because the losses might be not that actually influential on the existing network. So other issue that we faced was the currency, because in Poland we use zlotys, not euros or pounds. So THERMOS, of course, supports us as well, and it's not a big problem for us. Just we need to remember that the currency that is in THERMOS tool is a general currency, so it's universal for everyone. But this also means that if we want to show the solution in zlotys, we have to check all the cost options in the THERMOS tool. So we just simply click on the top left corner on the THERMOS logo, and the options tab should appear, and then check each option whether the currency that you're using is actually reflected in your own country-specific value. Of course, it does not cover all cost-related issues, because you also have to remember that once you put some sources on the map or apply some costs to those sources, you have to remember that it also should state the same currency as the other options that you provided through the option tab. Maybe to clear it for the other project members, because you can share your projects with other members, to make it clear, you can state which currency are you using in the description, so that there's no confusion about that. And when you're working together on one project, it's good to state it in the description, so that no one forgets which currency they're using, and then it will limit the questions and the time to describe it to every partner included in the project. So that's what we are doing, and these are a few very simple solutions to the problems that you might encounter. I encourage you to use as well. Thank you. That was all from my side.
Thank you very much, Wojciech. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation and for sharing with us the case of Warsaw. I think that it's very important at this stage of this training to share this kind of practical examples with our trainers. Please remember, trainers, that you are invited to develop a case study or to follow up a specific exercise with us. So please, if you have any doubt or any questions to Wojciech in the process of how the data was uploaded or how to use the tool in more detail, please let us know. I don't know if there's any questions. I cannot recall any questions in the chat. Yes, I have one. Just 1 minute, please. Yeah, Wojciech, we have one question regarding that how is it possible to compare different scenarios in the tool?
That's very simple. What we do normally is to create a few networks on the same map. that's easy to do because the tool gives you that possibility. So you can create a few networks with different solutions, and then on the summary of each solution, you can just see the values for each different network. It works on the same map, so you'll get the same values. You can input the same parameters to do it, and then simply when you optimize each solution, each of those networks, then you'll see the values for each, and you can compare them, whether which one is the most suitable for you, or simply compare the results that you wanted to achieve.
Okay, thank you very much, Wojciech. We have another question. If we can see some results from the case study in Warsaw, do you think we can have it, or we can share it with our THERMOS probably later?
I think later on would be much better, because I don't want to work through GoToMeeting in such a short time to do it. But of course, we have a few already analyzed, but we want to make it bigger and to use all the possibilities that THERMOS gives us. So I think hopefully in Berlin you will be able to see it in person, as we present it to you in more precise way and with more details. But yeah, of course, I hope I will be able to share with you more. But I don't think now is a good way and a good time. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Wojciech. Yes, we look forward to the result in Berlin. That was a very good approach. Please remember, trainers, that we are going to have the results not only from Warsaw, but from other cities of THERMOS, with the results in Berlin. Wojciech, we have another question specifically from Mary Yeomungning, which says that if you add a new building, do you have to re-import the GIS data, then reset all the parameters for the roads, for instance?
If you are to upload a new map, because that's how you include a new building, then yes, you will have to reinstall the parameters for this particular map, because the project consists of may consist of different maps and of different and each map can consist of different networks. So if you upload a new map, you will have to upload the parameters as well.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's clarified. Mary, if you have any other question, please put it in the post. We have another question from Federico Baba, mentioning that if it is possible to edit the number of degree days after the project has been set up, in case it is possible, where this option can be found in THERMOS.
Actually, I'm not sure. I always input it first, and when I input the map, so I didn't encounter that problem. I think it could be easily done through Options tab, but I'm not sure if it's available at the moment. Maybe it's one of the questions or issues that we can raise with the developers of the tool. But yeah. I don't think it is possible now, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that this question on the degree days, the heating degree days, was raised also. So we are going to include this question, this clarification in the frequently asked questions document. So we will be clear that this is clarified for all trainers. Okay. We have another question from Sebastian Reiche, mentioning which GIS program was used in the case study.
QGIS. I'm not sure if I name it correctly. It's just basically you need to have the file in the right type. So you can use any of the GIS tools that you're using. Just at the end, I think it's SHP, the most common one, the shape file that you need to upload. So you can use a different number of tools for that purpose, and I think most of them will support the standard files.
Okay, thank you very much, Wojciech. I have another question from Carson Rothballer, which says, how do you recommend to validate the optimized network?
To validate
for example,
it?
Like how you validate if the results of the optimized network are how can I say it's correct or is very linked to the reality?
Well, we do a lot of similar projects, so for us it's working with the experience that we have. The Warsaw network is very large, so it is not the first time there is such a case to extend it or to analyze it. So we usually use our own knowledge that we have, but of course, for some cities it will be something new. So it might be difficult to see whether this case is valid, but I think well, you need to have some confidence in the numbers that you put in, and if you have that confidence, I think it is not necessarily to validate it like many times. Just see someone that is interested in the topic and knows something about heating costs and heating networks, and this kind of, let's say, short validation from someone in the field is enough, I think.
Okay, thank you very much, Wojciech. Wojciech, I have a question. We don't have more questions in our poll of them. Can you give us an approximate time? How much time have you dedicated to do this modeling of the Warsaw case study using THERMOS? Can you give us some referential dates, hours of work or something? Because one of the key benefits of THERMOS for us is the how easy the planning processes is taking place with THERMOS. Can you share with us your experience on this process?
Yes, for us, actually, the most difficult parts were the communication and the gathering of data that were necessary to be used to make our case the most precise and reliable, let's say. But working on just on the tool to make a network, it takes, I would say, about a day or something like this to create one example of network. Just the communication and finding a problem or making up a new solution to this problem is something that you will spend most time on. But just putting in the tool is very simple, and it should take you less than a day to make your network. I did a presentation last Friday, and actually a few participants on that workshop that was like 15 minutes long already did some cases and asked me questions about them. So it's really quick to make the case. I think it gives you more time and allows you to make it more precise and communicate with different partners and develop it even further. And that's what you will work on, not just those technical issues, because this is very simplified with THERMOS, in my opinion.
Hey, thank you very much, Wojciech, for sharing with us your experience in using THERMOS. For us, this is a very valuable input, and also to, as I said before, to inspire our trainers to go and use THERMOS, put a hands on it, and take advantage of all of the features and characteristics that we have worked together with our technical team in order to make THERMOS a very useful tool for everybody. So thank you very much, as I said before, Wojciech, and thank you very much for the different questions we have. Please remember that we are going to have now a second part of the webinar, sharing the key next steps, because this is our last webinar. Okay. I'm going to now switch to my presentation. Thank you very much. And I'm going to continue with the presentation of the THERMOS Train the Trainers program, next steps. So just give me one moment, please, because I need to have the, yeah, thank you very much. I have now the control. Okay, so I hope you can see my my screen. So please just remember that we are in our last webinar, so I wanted to do like a summary of our Train the Trainer program and where we are, so you can know the next steps. So as you know, the first part of our Train the Trainer program consisted in these 3 instructor-led webinars. This is the third one. We already had the first and second webinars, and today we are finishing webinar number 3. I hope that you all have received the different recordings of the previous 2 webinars in case you missed any of them. That this third webinar will also be uploaded so you can see it at any time. So this is the first milestone that we are concluding today on the Train the Trainer programs. Second, we were talking about some supporting material and recorded webinars that you will also were invited to see and then answer a short questionnaire about the different webinars. So thank you very much for the trainers that have already completed the different questionnaires. So for recorded webinar 1 and recorded webinar number 2, we have a lot of trainers already have answered the questions. So that makes you that is part of the process of becoming a training, watching this webinar and answer the short questions. Now you will be invited to watch the last webinar, which is on local stakeholders involving for adopting THERMOS. Please, we encourage you to watch this webinar, although it's not a technical or hands-on experience with THERMOS, but it gives an insight of the importance of involving different stakeholders and actors in order to have a successful implementation of THERMOS, whether it's for a local government, for an energy agency, for a private developer. So we really encourage you to see it. The next questionnaire is going to be due by November 15th, so please don't forget to do it. Then remember that in our webpage you have our innovation catalog, the THERMOS user manual, and also access to several scientific publications on THERMOS. So please take a little time to explore this, and if you have any doubt, please contact us so we can send information specifically if you need. Any question also on the THERMOS manual or the innovation catalog, please feel free to contact us. And finally, and one of the most important things that is part of our Train the Trainer is the final exercise. So you have all received this survey for exploring your interest in developing whether a guided exercise or a case study. So we have as of today at midday, we have 53 trainers that already have expressed their interest. So just for the ones that are not familiar or missed the last webinar, so we have 2 types of exercise. So for the first one is the guided exercise, where we have a predefined problem of THERMOS, and we have some deep dive videos explaining how to solve different mini exercise. And then we have option 2, which is the development of a case study with THERMOS, which is a more detailed work that we would love to have more people using THERMOS for a particular and specific case study based on your needs. So for your information, we have almost 80%, 70% of our trainers want to do option 1, and the rest want to do option 2. So we are very happy to have trainers interested in develop a case study and also the exercise. And for that, just to remind for the ones that are developing option number 1 on the guided exercise, you will start receiving starting from this week these short videos and the mini exercise that you will be invited to develop. We have done a short change here on your benefit, that we are not going to have 5 mini exercises, we are going to have only 3 in order not to make you tired of making so many exercises. So you're going to watch 5 videos, but you are going to develop 3 exercises. We hope to finish this, and we invite you to finish this by November 29, 2019. And just to facilitate the process, we are going to use the Easy Class platform. So you will also receive a explanation of how to use this platform. It's a very simple software that with a course code you can access to the different you will access to a platform where you will have the videos and the exercise, and you will be able to submit online the results of the exercise that you must develop. Just for your information, in the previous Train the Trainers program, Pathway A, we used email to do this, but at the end it was so difficult to do a traceability of the different trainers, and now that we have more than 40 trainers that will be doing this, so we really decided to go to a more specialized tools rather than using single email. Okay, so I think that this will be very useful for you and for us, and also for our expert team that is going to be reviewing and validating the exercise, mainly CSE, Martin, Tom, that they will be reviewing your exercise. Okay, and then for the case 2, for the ones that have decided to do a case study with THERMOS, thank you very much for these 12 cases that we have so far. Hopefully by the end of the week we are going to have more than 12. So you are going to be assigned a tutor, which is a THERMOS partner that will accompany you in the development of your case. So by next week, by November the 4th, you will be already contacted by us and your THERMOS partner that is going to help you in developing and guiding you the case study that you may need. We are going to have some analysis of the different expectations you have for your case study in order to assign the best trainer, the best THERMOS partner that could help you in this process. Okay, so just to for the ones that do not remember, but for developing the case study, we propose 3 use cases. So just for you to know that most of the trainers that are going to develop a case would like to do a case on optimizing networks between no energy sources and demand. So we are going to work on this to make the best use of THERMOS to solving your specific challenge or interest of energy planning, district energy planning processes. Okay, so and just to finalize before going to the questions, please note that this is a summary. As I said before, this is the last instructor-led webinar that we are having. This will also be recorded, but just 4 things I wanted to share with you. First of all, that the webinars are completed. You will receive an email telling you if you need to do any other webinar. Probably you have not watched the webinars, the online webinars, so we will remind you the ones that are missing. And we are also going to ask you some a survey on the quality assessment of the training programs to improve for the next time. So please respond to this. Then, as I said before, for option 1, the ones that have decided, trainers that have decided to do the guided exercise via Easy Class, please remember that all the mini exercise should be submitted by November 29th, okay? You will have almost 1 month to do it. As I said before, using via Easy Class, it will be the process much easier for all of us, and you will enjoy doing the exercise. For the ones, the third thing I wanted to confirm is that for the trainers that have selected option 2, as I said before, we will contact you together with a specific THERMOS partner that is going to help you by November the 4th. And again, the same date of submission has been established for the case study, which will be November 29. In case there are any other new features that you would like to test or everything, we still can do it. But why we are establishing the November 29 deadline is because we would like to have some cases and experiences shared in our workshop in Berlin. As I said before, and this is the final message that we would like to transmit, the final workshop in Berlin, we've been announcing this since the beginning, is an optional place that you are invited to come. We understand that there are logistic times and several factors that could affect your presence here, but we really encourage you to participate. Here we would like to deliver the certificate to you of the THERMOS trainer program. And of course, if you have a particular interest in coming to Berlin, present your case and share the experience and seeing the last news of the tool, please let us know. We were going to send you a specific invitation to come for Berlin. We will have some sponsorship and fellowships for some of you to come, for the ones that are interested. So please be aware that we count on you in order to make THERMOS a more to have more cases and to share the experiences of users of THERMOS in Berlin. So those are the last things I wanted to share with you. So we are going to answer now. I think we have some questions. I don't know, Alexandra, if you can, if you are tracking the questions. Yeah, we have one question here. But please tell us any other question that you may have. We have, for those that do not plan to go to Berlin, would it be possible to watch a live demonstration of the use tool on a concrete case? It would be more effective, I think. Yes, this is Ana Cristina Alves asking this, and Marquez Leandro. Yes, we would like to have, and we are thinking of having another round of session with a live demonstration of the tool. We can do that. Just for you to know, also in this short exercise of option 1, we will be also having some recordings of live experiences with THERMOS, so you can watch it and you can access that. We will share with all trainers. But yes, hopefully we will have another session that, of course, we are going to share it with you. Thanks for this recommendation. Okay. Let me see if we have another questions. Yeah, that we've been asking if we can send the links to the THERMOS user manual. Yes, we're going to send the link, but also remember that when you enter to the THERMOS tool, you can also download the user manual. But yes, we are going to share with you the link specifically to the manual. We have another question from Mary Yemundi regarding option 2. What exactly do you want us to submit? At the end, we don't want you to submit a document. We would like to submit a result of the different case study. When you configure your case in THERMOS and when you do the exercise, we will be able to you will be able to show the results easily. Of course, at the end, probably for Berlin, in case that you're coming to present, we will just ask some key slides of the different results of the tool. But that's all. Please don't think that this is a complicated process. Then we have another question. Sorry, I am looking the questions log, but I think I have answered everything. Yeah, to Ana Cristina. Yes, I think so. So there are no more questions. I don't know if you have any other clarification needed. If not, as I said before, please contact us. You will have our contacts, Alexandra, myself, Martin, all the team. We are here ready to answer any of your questions. And as I said before, I wanted to share with you very fast a document that we are going to share with you, which is the frequently asked question document, as I offered in the first in the first webinar, remember that we mentioned that we had lots of questions. So finally, we managed to condensate a document for everybody to have the questions. We will include the questions of today. So here are some questions that we have condensated here. So we have questions regarding the model. We have questions regarding the units of cost, how to configure this in the system. We have also information on the different type of GIS data that can be imported to THERMOS. So here we have several questions that we have been developing together with all THERMOS partners and the technical team in order to have a set of questions that could be useful for everybody. So we are going to share this document with you. But please let you know that this will be a living document. We are going to include more questions during the process of testing THERMOS and developing the cases. So please count on us in order to include all your questions in this document and share it with the different participants. Okay, so we are going to share this with you. So with that, I think that if there's no more questions, we can finalize the Train the Trainers instructor-led webinars. We are not finalizing the program today, so please don't think that after this audio you will not do anything else. We are going to continue being in contact with you, and please count on us for any doubt you may have, and we look forward to develop the different cases and exercises with you. And looking forward to see you and know you in person in Berlin. Thank you very much. I don't think there's no more questions. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Wojciech. Thank you, Kamal, also that was connected from, yeah, Alex, everything. I think it's okay. I think that we don't have more questions. And if I have missed one question, please apologize. I will clarify later. I have seen now a final question from Duncan Falkes regarding how much time is required for the case study. So for the case study, we were expecting a dedication of around, just 1 minute, 16 to 32 hours for the case study. It would depend, of course, on the details you may need to configure in your case study. Okay. So that was the last question that was asked. So I think with that we end. I don't know if Martin or Wojciech, would you like to do a final remark, or Alexandra, in order to close the official instructor-led webinar of THERMOS? Martin? Okay, I think that Martin has some problems with the audio, but anyway, Alexandra, would you like to mention a last inspiring note for our trainers?
Not really. Part that we look forward to keep cooperating in the future about the exercises, and yeah, looking forward to meet some of you in Berlin potentially.
Yes. Okay, so Martin is he tells me that he's mute, so I'm going to unmute. Martin? Yes, now you are unmute.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Daniela. Yeah, so all I was going to say really was just about the exercises again. That yeah, so there's 5 videos planned, as Daniela was saying. The first one has already been done, and that's going to be a link will be sent out to you in imminently, and that's just over half an hour long. I think the other ones will be a little bit shorter, but they're all tackling one particular aspect of THERMOS. So they will be a really good resource to follow in terms of doing your exercises, whichever option you've taken. So yeah, keep your eyes out for those and watch those at your leisure. And also, yeah, there's the online manual to supplement that as well, which we're kind of updating on an ongoing basis. So If some things are not quite up to date, it might be apparent from using the current version of the tool. We will be updating the manual quite shortly as well. So yeah, that's just all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time, your patience, and looking forward to continue being in contact with you, and have a nice rest of the evening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.